It is said that lust can destroy a person's wisdom and self-discipline. But how? Let us understand this through the story of a celibate monk. Watch till the end, because this story reveals just how important it is to control lustful desires. And the story goes like this. Once a monk lived deep in a forest in a small hut that he had built himself. He had dedicated his entire life to strict celibacy and spiritual practice. One day a king came to that forest for hunting, but after hours of searching, he could not find any prey. Tired, thirsty, and exhausted, he wandered through the jungle in search of water. After some time, he saw the monk's hut. Hoping for food and water, he walked toward it. But as soon as he reached the door, he collapsed there from hunger and thirst. The monk saw him unconscious, sprinkled some cold water on his face, and helped him sit up. Slowly, the king opened his eyes, drank some water, and ate a few fruits. Once he felt better, he folded his hands and said, "O wise one, you have saved my life. Please ask me for anything you wish. I will give it to you." The monk smiled and replied, "O king, I need nothing. My life is devoted to celibacy and spiritual discipline." The king was deeply impressed by the monk's dedication and invited him to visit the royal palace sometime. A few months later, one day, the monk decided to visit the king's palace. When the king saw him, he welcomed him with great respect and appointed his most trusted maid to take care of him. The maid was extremely beautiful and graceful. She began looking after the monk with full devotion. She started serving him food and attending to his needs, and even when the monk was sleeping, she would fan him. The monk, who had never lived close to a woman before, slowly began feeling attracted to her. His eyes would often linger on her soft and graceful body, and lustful thoughts started rising in his mind. The years of his hard-earned discipline began to weaken. His peaceful mind started to grow restless. The fire of lust had been lit within him. Whenever the maid helped him take bath, her gentle touch would awaken hidden emotions and stir up lustful feelings in his heart. One day, the monk asked the maid, "Oh, beautiful lady, are you married?" The maid blushed and replied politely, "No, sir, I am still unmarried." The monk's heart was filled with desire. He asked, "Would you meet me outside the palace someday?" The maid smiled and said, "Of course, sir, I am here to serve you. My home is in the nearby village. If you come there, I will consider it a blessing for me." The monk replied, "I will surely come tomorrow." Now the monk's mind could no longer focus on his meditation. He kept thinking about the maid, eagerly waiting for the morning to come. As soon as the sun rose, he rushed to her house. The maid also welcomed him warmly in her house, served him delicious food with love, and the monk felt completely satisfied. But inside his mind was struggling. He was thinking, should he propose marriage to her or not? On one hand, he feared losing the spiritual path he had followed for years. On the other hand, her unmatched beauty was pulling him closer. He finally decided to wait for a few more days before proposing. But deep down, the monk was also afraid. He was thinking, what if she refused? After all, he was a monk, and she might not accept a proposal from someone who had renounced worldly life. From that day onwards, he started visiting her on a daily basis, spending long hours at her house. Soon the villagers noticed this unusual behavior. Concerned, they went to the king and said, "Your Majesty, your guest, the monk. He is visiting the maid's house every single day and spent hours here. If a monk behaves like this, then what message will it send to the youth of our village?" The king heard their complaints and said, "Okay, I will look into this matter." Meanwhile, the monk had completely lost control of his emotions. He decided that he would finally propose marriage to the maid the very next morning. Coincidentally, that day was a village festival, and it was believed that giving to the poor on this day would earn double blessings. As soon as the monk arrived at the maid's house to propose to her, she asked him first, "Sir, do you have a few coins? I want to donate it to the poor and earn some blessings today." The monk replied, I don't have any coins, but don't worry. I will ask the king. How many do you need? Just 4, she said. The monk went to the palace and said to the king, Your Majesty, once I saved your life, that day you promised to grant me any wish. Today, I have come to ask for something. Though the king's respect for the monk had faded, he still replied, All right, what do you want? Tell me. The monk was about to ask for 4 coins, but then a thought entered his mind. Why should I ask only for 4 coins? Why not 8 or 16? And why not ask for 1,000 coins? The king owes me his life. He will surely give me anything I ask. In fact, why stop at coins? Why not ask for the whole kingdom? Thus I could become the king and make the maid my queen. Then I can marry her easily. Blinded by lust and greed, he finally said, Your Majesty, I want your entire kingdom. The king was shocked and furious. He was already upset by the complaints from villagers about the monk. He shouted, You hypocrite! You already lost your dignity, and now you dare to ask for my entire kingdom. He immediately ordered his soldiers, Put this man in prison for life. And so, in that, the monk lost everything. He lost his years of penance, his respect, his honor, and even his freedom, just because he could not control his lust. If we see in the world around us, we will find that lust has become one of the biggest reasons behind the downfall of today's youth. Whether it is students, teenagers, or even elders, many are getting trapped in it. You open the internet, and more than 70% of the content is filled with porn. It is everywhere: social media, websites, short videos, and without even realizing it, people get addicted to it. Most people watch such content when they are alone. That's the time when these thoughts start to take over our mind. But remember this, whenever such thoughts come to your mind, engage yourself in some work immediately. Get up, leave that place, go for a walk, call a friend, or sit with your family. Because when you are around people, these thoughts start to fade. Lust grows in loneliness, but it disappears in good company. This sexual energy that we waste on temporary pleasure is actually meant for a higher purpose. It is for reproduction, not for entertainment. If we learn to save and channel this energy, we can use it to do wonders in life. Great people, scientists, saints, leaders, they all succeeded because they knew how to control this energy. That's why they reached the top. If you don't control your lust, your downfall is certain. But if you do, you will gain focus, strength, self-respect, and the power to shape your future. So, make the right choice to shape your future. So, make the right choice today, because when you rise above your desires, you rise above the ordinary and move closer to your true potential.